All right, team, let's talk about the most powerful and maybe the most dangerous new tool we have, AI. Look, it's already part of how we work, right? But here's the thing. Using it well isn't just about going faster, it's about judgment. And that's what we're going to focus on today. How to sharpen your judgment so that you are always in the driver's seat.
So let's kick things off with a bit of a horror story. A researcher, right? They're using an AI to gather sources for a big review. The AI spits out this perfect-looking list of citations. The paper gets published, and then disaster. A reviewer points out that several of the papers the AI cited, they're completely made up. They just don't exist. The paper gets pulled, and just like that, months of work completely down the drain.
Now, here's the most important part of that story. This wasn't some random one-in-a-million mistake. No, it was a predictable failure. And you know what's great about predictable failures? They're manageable. We can see them coming. So today, I'm going to give you the playbook, the actual steps to spot these things before they blow up in your face. It's all about staying in control.
Okay, so to make sure you don't fall into what I call the AI trust trap, we've got to understand why these tools fail in the first place. We need to pop the hood and look at their fundamental limitations. And listen, this isn't just some techie deep dive for the sake of it. This stuff is the absolute foundation for using AI smartly.
The number one biggest, most dangerous problem for us as professionals, it's something called a hallucination. This is when an AI just makes stuff up. We're talking fake data, invented legal cases, ghost research papers, but it says it all with this incredible, unshakable confidence. And here's the key takeaway, the thing you have to burn into your brain. The model is trained to sound right, not to be right. Its confidence means nothing about its accuracy. It's just part of the act.
All right, next up, the knowledge cutoff. This one's easy to forget, but super important. Just imagine you have this genius assistant, but on one specific day, they just stopped reading anything. That's what every AI model has. There's a date, let's say mid-2024 for this example, and it knows absolutely nothing about anything that happened after that. And here's the real trap. If you ask it about something new, it won't just say, hey, I don't know. Oh no. It's much more likely to just make up a believable-sounding answer based on what it does know from the past.
And all of this really gets to the core difference between an AI and a human brain. An AI is, at its heart, an incredible pattern-matching machine. It knows that papers about mRNA vaccines are probably going to mention immune response because it's seen that pattern a million times. But it can't reason. It can't do that logical step-by-step thinking where, if A leads to B and B leads to C, then A must cause C in a brand new situation. It's just remixing what it's already seen. It can't create something genuinely new.
Okay, that's enough theory for now. Let's get practical, because the only real way to build good judgment is to practice. So we're going to shift gears from just talking about the problem to actually training our eyes to spot it. You can think of this as your first workout session at the AI gym.
So here's your first drill, and I want everyone to actually do this. Step 1, pick a really obscure topic in your field, something niche, and ask the AI to give you some specific citations on it. You're basically baiting the trap. Step 2, and this is the important one, you have to go and verify every single one of those citations in a real database. No skipping. Step 3, look at the fakes it came up with. Notice how real they look? That's you calibrating your skepticism. Step 4, test that knowledge cutoff we talked about. Ask it about something that just happened. Watch how it tries to wing it. And finally, Step 5, ask your original question 3 completely different ways. If you get wildly different answers, that's a huge red flag for instability. What this whole drill does is build that muscle memory for verification. It makes checking your work an automatic reflex.
Okay, so now that you know how to spot the problems, let's build that into a professional playbook. The difference between a novice AI user and an expert? It has nothing to do with writing super complicated prompts. It's all about a fundamental difference in their mindset and their entire approach.
Let's go back to that literature review example. The novice approach? They just ask the AI, give me a list of papers on this topic, and then they copy and paste. They've basically handed over their professional judgment to a machine. But the expert? They do something totally different. They'll ask the AI for things like search strategies or good keywords to try. They're using it as a brainstorming partner, a thinking tool. And if the AI happens to suggest a specific paper, the expert treats that suggestion as a hypothesis, something that needs to be proven by checking it in a real database.
And it's the exact same story with technical work, like statistical analysis. A novice will ask the AI to write some code, they'll run it, and they just trust whatever comes out. This is so risky. Because the code can have these tiny, subtle bugs that give you results that look perfectly fine,
but are completely wrong. The expert, on the other hand, sees that AI-generated code as just a starting point, a first draft. Then they use their own expertise to go through it, check the logic, test the assumptions, and ultimately take full ownership of the final result.
So the big question is, how do we make this stuff second nature? Instinctual. The answer is to build a personal framework. Just a simple set of rules you can run through in your head that automatically shifts you from a place of risk to a place of total control every single time you open up that AI.
Okay, here are the 4 core principles for that framework. They're simple. First, trust for speed, verify for stakes. What that means is, if the consequences of being wrong are low, go ahead, use its speed. But if the stakes are high, you verify absolutely everything. Second, trust for ideas, verify for facts. It's an amazing brainstorming tool, but a terrible fact checker. Third, use it for thinking, not for proving. It's a tool to help you explore, not to do the final work for you. And last but not least, always understand what you're using. If it gives you code, you damn well better be able to read and understand that code. And here's what that looks like as a practical, day-to-day checklist. Let's say you're brainstorming some project names. Is that high risk? Nope. Low risk. Trust it for speed. What about summarizing a long article just for yourself? Again, pretty low risk. But what if you're pulling a specific statistic for a client presentation? Well, that's high stakes. You have to verify that with the original source. Finding academic citations, writing the final version of some code, those are always high stakes. You always verify, no exceptions.
So let's just do a quick recap by flipping this around and looking at the common mistakes this framework will help you avoid. The absolute biggest one is thinking that a confident tone means it's accurate. It doesn't. Next, treating the AI like it's some all-knowing expert instead of a tool. Oh, and here's a sneaky one. Verifying an answer by just asking the same AI the same question again. That's not verification. That's just getting a second guess from the same flawed source. And of course, you can't forget about that knowledge cutoff. And please, don't ever assume the AI is going to tell you when it's uncertain. It usually won't.
So what are your new rules of engagement with AI? Let's nail these down. Rule 1, any factual claim, I'm talking every single number, citation, or date, has to be independently verified, period. Rule 2, always remember you're working with a pattern matcher, not a critical thinker. Rule 3, it's your job to bring up-to-date knowledge into the mix, to fill in that knowledge cutoff gap. And finally, Rule 4, and this is maybe the most important, never forget that your expertise, your professional judgment, that is your most valuable asset here. It's the ultimate safety net. It's what lets you catch the mistakes that the AI is blind to. I'm going to leave you with one last question to think about. As you start using these tools more and more in your day-to-day work, I want you to stop and really ask yourself, what's the part of my job that AI can't do? What part requires genuine reasoning, truly new ideas, and critical human judgment? Because whatever that is, that's your unique, irreplaceable value, and that's exactly what we're trying to protect and make even more powerful.